Hello, Matadors. Welcome to the latest edition of the Corr Report. I wanted to take a little bit of time. I spoke to you 2 weeks ago during the beginning of the semester and felt it was time to provide some updates and maybe even some clarifications of some earlier comments so that we can all stay on the same page as we work through these challenging times. Before I start, I do want to recognize some really heroic things that are going on here at the college that I am so proud of. Many of you, I hope many of you, have had your first vaccination shot, and if you did and you were at the Yuma County Health Center, you probably had that shot administered by one of our nursing students. Under the supervision of our amazing nursing faculty, our students are spending countless hours at the health department administering those shots. That frees up other healthcare professionals to work with COVID patients, and that's just an amazing contribution, and I'm so proud of our nursing faculty and our nursing students. Another thing, I just had a remarkable opportunity a week or so ago out in our land lab with our agricultural department to dig up carrots, of all things. It was a great project between our ag department, thank you Tasha, and the Yuma Food Bank, where they grew carrots and harvested those carrots so that folks could have healthy, fresh food here in Yuma, those who can't afford the food themselves. So it was really neat. Growing up in Chicago, I always thought carrots came in a can with peas. I didn't realize they actually came from the ground. It was just a great opportunity and a great example, again, of this college being a college of the community. Just yesterday, we had another on-site COVID testing. We have done a dozen or so of these already, many more planned through this semester. This is our attempt, again, as being a college of the community, to be part of the COVID response here in Yuma and La Paz County. Many of you have inquired about the possibility of bringing vaccines to campus. Trust me, we are working diligently to make that happen. Of course, if you're following that in the news, you realize there's a real shortage of vaccines here in Yuma County. We're not getting near the number that we need to get everyone vaccinated, even in this 1B category that we're at right now. But we will continue to work, and when there is sufficient supply of the vaccine, it is hoped that we would be able to administer the vaccines here on site, probably down in the 3C breezeway. In the meantime, continue to monitor that. Every employee at Arizona Western College qualifies under the 1B category to be vaccinated. So please avail yourself of that opportunity. I know it's frustrating getting on the website continually to find if there's a slot or not a slot, but stay diligent, get yourself vaccinated, be part of the solution as we move through this COVID pandemic. Now, I also want to thank all of you who responded to the survey. The employee survey closed just yesterday, and we had 300 or more responses to the survey, which I think is just amazing. I don't have a final number, but I'm told it's north of 300 already. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you think we're doing well in terms of responding to COVID. Perhaps more importantly, or most importantly, we want to hear what you think we can do better to better serve our students and help them through this COVID pandemic. Now, let me give you a quick update on enrollment. When I spoke to you 2 weeks ago or so, I indicated that enrollment was down 20%. Today, this morning, we're down 15.4%. Now, it's tough to celebrate a 15% decline in enrollment, but the 5 percentage points that we made up in the last 2 weeks is really an amazing response. We have worked just as hard as we can to reach out to students, to serve students, to facilitate their enrollment. A lot of calls went out to folks who were with us last semester who had not yet enrolled for this semester. I know that division chairs and their faculty have done a great job of adding some late start 8-week courses, and that has built enrollment. We've redoubled our efforts with the high schools to facilitate dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment. So that's really tremendous progress in a very short period of time. We will continue to scrape and claw for every last enrollment that we can get this semester and prepare for the summer and on to the fall semester. Again, the revenue source generated from tuition is vital to the operation of this college. And we need those students, not just for their tuition, not even close to only for their tuition, because they need to be in college. They need to be pursuing their higher educational goals, and we're the place for them to do it. Now, there's been a couple of other things that have happened in the last couple of weeks I want to tell you about. We have, through attrition or reassignment, eliminated 5 full-time positions. And this is important because that again relieves the budget deficit that we have due to the enrollment decline. When we have had a vacant position, we've either split up those duties among others in the institution, or we've transferred positions to grant-funded positions. And again, to date, 5 positions in this institution have been eliminated with no one losing their job. It was through attrition, it was through retirements or resignations. That will continue to be our approach as we look to save everyone's full-time employment here at the college. And I want to let you know that that has happened, and that again, with the increase in enrollment from down 20 to down 15 and eliminating 5 full-time benefited positions permanently. And I'll give you just one quick example. Officer Fell, we all love Officer Fell. He retired. We're not filling that position. We're going to have 1 fewer police officer on campus. That'll stretch those who stay in our police department, but we felt that was a fiscally prudent thing to do. That is the approach we will take moving forward, again, to try to minimize any potential adverse action for continuing full-time employees, layoffs or reductions in force. Let me tell you about a couple of other things that have happened. One, we have received notice that the college will be receiving additional stimulus dollars. CARES Act, CARES Act 2. It's been called a number of different things. Now, the exact amount of those dollars and the restrictions tied to those dollars have yet to be determined. The federal government has indicated there would be initial rules that were sent to us by the end of this month, January. Today's the 21st. So figure the next 10 days we should get initial rules. Then it takes up to 60 or 90 days for the official rulemaking associated with those dollars to be distributed. We are going to be cautious and wait pretty close to the end of the official rulemaking process, because last time in CARES Act 1, the rules changed 2 or 3 different times, and we really had to scramble as to what was appropriate use of those dollars, permitted use, and what wasn't permitted. So we're going to let that process play out to make sure that we are following the federal guidelines associated with those dollars. So again, that's nothing but good news, folks, in that we know we have some additional stimulus dollars coming our way. I also mentioned in the all-campus meeting, I am working with Cabinet, primarily Dr. Carrasco Jaquez and Ritika Dewan, on a reorganization that will allow us to be more efficient and more effective. We're still working on the final pieces of that organization, and I need to see exactly what the fiscal impact of it will be. We hope that it saves the college some dollars in terms of how we organize ourselves. So we're about 2 to 3 weeks away from finalizing that process. Again, think the end of January, first week of February. Way back in March, we started with 2 goals: to keep everyone safe, to keep our students, faculty, staff, and community safe, and help our students get across the finish line. We knew as enrollment plummeted and resources became scarce, that I then shared that our primary goal in terms of staffing was to maintain all full-time employment here at the college. That remains our goal. I know the specter of layoffs is very stressful, and I don't discount that. And I have been counseled by members of Cabinet to make those cuts just as soon as possible, to announce them so folks can know what their status is. I'm here to tell you today that because of the uncertainty of the reorganization of how much we'll get from CARES Act and how much it will be, and the prospect for further attrition through retirement or resignation or reorganization, it's going to be still a couple of weeks. But our goal remains to minimize or eliminate all layoffs. I know this is causing a lot of people stress, and I wish I could alleviate that stress with one fell swoop today. But I want to let you know that our layoffs, if they occur, and now I'm saying if they occur, will be very limited and very targeted. What am I talking about? 5, 6, 7 folks potentially might lose their job. I hope to avoid that through these other sources of revenue, through continued increases in enrollment, and continued reorganization through attrition. That's the best that I can tell you today on January 21st. But I felt I needed to touch base, let you know what's going on, that progress is being made, that the last 2 weeks have been very successful here at the college, and our focus must remain on our students. A survey went out to our students Tuesday of this week. We're asking them how they're doing. Just as we asked you how you're doing, we need to know how our students are doing. Where are they struggling? What do they need to get across the finish line today, this semester? We want to ask them now, not in April or May where it might be too late. Our focus needs to be on our students. Enrolling them, retaining them, graduating them remains the goal of this institution. I appreciate all your work. I hope that you stay safe, continue to mask up, remain socially distant, wash your hands. We know what we need to do. We've got a great plan at the college. We need to follow the plan. With that, I wish you the best of luck for a successful semester. I'll be talking to you again in just a couple of weeks with, again, an update. Today, as always, it's a great day to be a Matador. Thank you very much.